20 seconds in this game, still scoreless, of course. Just 10 yards inside West Brom territory. It's Vestergaard who goes long and forward with a diagonal ball, headed away by Bartley. It will drop on the edge of the West Brom penalty area. Diania trying to work it out of his half, goes for a long ball downfield. Can't find anyone though. Straight down into the hands of Fraser Forster, away to the left-hand side. Takes it down in his chest and resets the tempo. 2 minutes gone, no score at either end. Anyone though. Straight down into the hands of Fraser Forster, away shepherding to the left-hand side. On the edge, down in his chest, circle, resets the tempo. 2 minutes gone now. Anyone though. Straight down into the hands. Yellow's beaten to the Forster, away by Ainsley Maitland on the left-hand side. Muscled off the ball there by Yellow. Chest circle, resets the tempo. 2 minutes forward now. Simon, anyone though. Straight down into the hands. Yellow's beaten to the Forster, away by Ainsley Maitland on the left-hand side. Muscled off the ball there by Yellow. Chest circle, resets the tempo. 2 minutes forward now. Simon, anyone though. Straight down into the hands. Yellow's 20 yards Forster, away inside Ainsley Maitland on the left-hand side. Muscled off the ball there by Yellow. Chest circle, mediates. 2 minutes forward now. Simon, anyone though. 20 yards Forster, away inside Ainsley Maitland on the left-hand side. Diania trying to play it off. Chest circle, mediates. Penalised. So the first free kick of the left-hand side. Goalless it stands. The ball is West Brom's. 20 yards inside the Southampton half. 20 yards in from the left-hand touchline as West Brom look at it, and they'll flick it forward now. Now's the chance, building on the edge of the box, cutting inside. Can Matt Phillips get a shot away? Turns once, turns twice, shoots it goal. Parry by Forster, it's still alive. Headed clear, drops towards the edge of the area. The thundering shot comes in, it's turned into the back of the net, and now we look towards the flag, and the flag is going to be raised. West Brom thought they'd taken the lead so early on. Turns twice, shoots it goal. On the Parry by Forster, it's still alive. Headed clear, drops towards the edge of the area. The thundering shot comes in, it's turned into the back of the net, and now we look towards the flag, and the flag is going to be raised. West Brom Champion or not, so early on, turns twice, shoots it goal. On the Parry by Forster, it's still alive. Headed clear, drops towards the edge of the area. The thundering shot comes in, it turns to the back of the net, and now we look towards the flag, and the flag is going to be raised. West Brom Champion or not, so early on, turns twice, shoots it goal. On the Parry by Forster, it's still alive. Headed clear, drops towards the edge of the area. The thundering shot comes in, it turns to the back of the net, and now we look towards the flag, and the flag is going to be raised. West Brom Champion or not, so early on, turns twice, shoots it goal. On the Parry by Forster, it's still alive. Headed clear, drops towards the area. Comes in, it turns to the back of the net, and now we look towards the flag, and the flag is going to be raised. West Brom Champion or not, so early on, turns twice, shoots it goal. On the Parry by Forster, it's still alive. Headed clear, drops towards the area. Comes in, it turns to the back of the net, and now we look towards the flag, and the flag is going to be raised. West Brom Champion or not, so early on, turns twice, shoots it goal. On the Parry by Forster, it's still alive. Headed clear, drops towards the area. Comes in, it turns to the back of the net, and now we look towards the flag, and the flag is going to be raised. West Brom Champion or not, so early on, turns twice, shoots it. A shot from the edge of the area, well hit by Matt Phillips, was saved and knocked away. Daniel Furlong put the shot back in, and it was turned into the back of the net by Diania. I think we're going to get the verdict now. No goal is the call. No goal, and an indirect free kick for offside for Southampton. West Brom's would-be opener chalked off by Diania. I think it was the right call. It was a question of inches, as it often is with these VAR calls. Of all contentious decisions we've had so far this season, I don't think that is one. So 5.5 gone. West Bromwich Albion 0, Southampton 0, and the Saints in possession, far side there left with Yannick Vestergaard. Turns back towards his goalkeeper Forster. Forster hoofs long, it drops and is allowed to bounce inside the West Brom half. O'Shea gets it clear, works it upfield, still bouncing around. Saints will win it back now just inside the centre circle. And no sooner have I said that, Ainsley Maitland-Niles back on the ball, winning it for West Brom. Jumps into the challenge, tries to work it forward towards Diania. Now Robinson near side the West Brom left, works it forward. Again, still moving well here, the Baggies. Near side the left comes the cross. Hits Ward Prowse, it bobbles awkwardly up into the penalty area, headed behind for a corner. So West Brom with the better of the opening exchanges. They force Jan Bednarek to head behind. It was a bobbling cross and well worked there by Callum Robinson. Near side the West Brom left. Got himself to the byline, hit the cross in. It was scooped behind, and that's where we find ourselves. 6 minutes gone. West Bromwich Albion 0, Southampton 0. Off Tube Independent studio commentary. The corner for the baggies to come. Near side the left, it's taken quickly, 1-2, back to the taker near side. Maitland now tries to whip it in, finds himself blocked off, back towards the corner flag. Nathan Redmond doing well, standing him up. West Brom come back towards the edge of the penalty area, trying to work their way through with Pereira. Pereira twisting and turning, can't find a way past Armstrong. Settles for the throw in 10 yards from the corner flag. So 7 gone, no score. But West Brom have had the ball in the net through Mbaidiania, disallowed for offside. What can they do from the throw-in? Connor Townsend is up from left back. It's 10 yards short of the corner flag. Near side the baggies left. And it goes short towards the corner of the penalty area. Back towards Townsend, now the taker whips it in. Oh, and it's fired just wide of the post. And what a chance for Callum Robinson. And he wasn't far away. Throw-in came short to the edge of the area. Townsend wanted the 1-2, whipped it in towards the front post, and Robinson, oh so close, just puts it a foot wide of the post, you would say. Did really well to latch onto that. 2 huge chances for the baggies. 2 chances in quick succession for West Bromwich Albion. The first, a disallowed goal, and Mbaidiania thought he'd given the baggies the lead when he turned in Darnell Furlong's effort from the edge of the box, but the assistant referee Derek Eaton ruled him out to be offside, and with a VAR check from John Moss, that was soon adjudged to be disallowed. And then coming close just a moment later, working in from near side the left, it was shot goalwards by Callum Robinson just 2 yards out from the post. He couldn't quite turn it inside the upright though. Fraser Forster, a lucky customer in the Southampton goal. 8 gone, West Brom 0, Southampton 0. A throw in to get us back underway with Kyle Walker-Peters, 20 yards inside the Southampton half, near side there right. And it's hooked long and down the line. It meets the head of Townsend, who buffets it up towards halfway, and the first man to it is Kyle Walker-Peters. He's wrestled down to ground, and so a free kick given to the Saints, who not had the best of the opening exchanges. West Brom can be pleased with their efforts so far. Of course, they've had the ball in the net, a disallowed goal, correctly so. Musa Ginepo, should I say, from Mbaidiania. And again, coming close to Callum Robinson. They've got the first bit of defending to do now. The long ball coming near side the right for Southampton. It's long over the head of Stuart Armstrong, and Ings will chase it. It's worked back inside, and now Redmond's going to work his way to the touchline. Brought into Walker-Peters. Walker-Peters gets to the byline himself and cuts the cross back and knocks it behind for a corner. Saints pressing well. It's taken them 9 minutes to wake up in this game. Great feat there to keep it in, Kyle Walker-Peters. Did ever so well. He'll have a corner for his efforts. We're just waiting for that now. Near side, the Southampton right. It's going to be Ward-Prowse to stand over it. In swinger. It looks to be. Now he's shaping for the out. Here it comes. Near side the right, whips it in towards the penalty spot, headed away and fired back into the danger zone. And while it was a weak effort really from the edge of the penalty area by Theo Walcott, never really connected with it. 25 yards out, sliced his way underneath the ball, and it hooks out wildly behind Sam Johnston's goal. 10 minutes gone. No score, but plenty of action. And Sam Johnston sets the ball down for his goal kick. And we wait him to get us restarted again. Off-tube independent studio commentary. West Bromwich Albion 0, Southampton 0. Mbaidiania's disallowed goal, the best chance we've had for either side so far. Callum Robinson went close himself. Just turning the wrong side of the post. I'm getting a second look at that disallowed goal, and I tell you, it's mighty close. In fact, it's really hard to see where Mbaidiania is because he's blocked off from view. John Moss in the VAR booth seems to think he's got enough to rule the goal out, or really the on-field decision was, of course, disallowed, and so nothing conclusive to prove he was onside. But West Brom building forward again, coming near side of the left. They're going to work it down towards the corner flag. Connor Townsend works it in 1-2 towards the byline, gets a shot and a save from Fraser Forster to tip it around the post. And West Brom firing out the blocks here. 11 minutes gone. They've got themselves another corner. 0-0, but great work down the left flank by Connor Townsend. Found himself slipped in by Callum Robinson and tried to turn it in. Fraser Forster equal to it. And a corner for West Brom. Near side there left. 11.5 minutes gone. Here it comes towards the front post. It's headed away with the first time of asking by Southampton to be knocked back into the danger zone by Furlong, but it's too heavy and straight out for a goal kick. Certainly the Baggies were the best slice of the action so far. Last weekend's 5-2 demolition of Chelsea was undoubtedly a sizable boost for their improbable push for survival, though factors beyond their control have since conspired to make their task even tougher. Newcastle's 2-1 win over Burnley yesterday being one. Leaves the Baggies still 11 points from safety with 8 games to play. To put that into context, in their great escape season of 2004-2005, well, that saw them 5 points adrift with 10 to play. They're now 11 off the pace with just 8 to go, including tonight. They started well though, and they have a free kick 10 yards inside their own half. Connor Townsend sets the ball down. Okay, Kushlu muscled off the ball there by Ibrahim Diallo. Simon Hooper seeing fit toward the free kick, which is 10 yards into the West Brom half. It's worked forward and over halfway, knocked down by Kushlu. Connor Townsend, corner of the penalty area, near side of the West Brom left, working towards the back post, and it's headed away by Vestergaard. West Brom coming up with it again though on the edge of the attacking third. They're trying to work their way through the middle with Ainsley Maitland-Niles. He works it out well near side the left, and forward comes Robinson. Robinson plays it into the penalty area now. It's going to be cut back. Is there anyone there? No, just red shirts to clear it away. Southampton will scramble clear towards the edge of the penalty area. Theo Walcott, he's dispossessed right on the corner of the box, and now Bartley coming forward, gets towards the byline, cuts it back. There's a man in centre. Oh, and it's hit on the top of the thigh. Jokislu coming forward and couldn't get his control away from him. Now for a goal kick it will go. Again, West Brom looks so dangerous down this left-hand side. Near side the left, they work their way forward time and time again. They look strong every time they bring it into the feet of Ainsley Maitland-Niles, and each time again it just seems to peter out. Southampton, well, worrying signs for them. Barely been in the game, but for a flashed effort over the bar from Theo Walcott from the edge of the penalty area. So 14 gone. West Brom 0, Southampton 0. Goal kick still to come. And again, let me remind you, off-tube independent studio commentary that you're listening to. Sam Allardyce looks on. Well, I'll tell you, his record of never having been relegated as a manager is probably the most overused statistic in English football, but might not be able to use it for much longer. This would certainly be his greatest of exploits if he manages to avoid relegation to the Championship with West Brom this season. Find themselves, of course, 19th. 11 points adrift. Of course, there'll be keen eyes in the 8:15 kick-off between Brighton and Everton later on. Forward come West Brom. Jokislu finds Ainsley Maitland-Niles 35 yards out on the angle, works it into the penalty area. Now a chance building. Phillips wide on the right, cuts it at a goal. Oh, and it's turned behind, and that could have gone anywhere. Yannick Vestergaard was turning it for the corner. He got an awkward knee behind it and spiralled towards Fraser Forster's goal. Working well forward over halfway. It was held up well by Mbaidianya on the edge of the box. Knocked back towards Jokislu.
Because of Kieran Gibbs' injury problems, he got to see quite a lot of game time last season in the
space. He chose to go with Matt Phillips. He shot
choice
towards goal. Vestergaard got the control on it. Ballooned it over his own crossbar, so a corner far side the West Brom right. 15 gone, 0-0. Whipped in swinger, hits the first man. Headed away towards the edge of the penalty area. It's picked up by Furlong. Tries to slip a ball through. Taking a ricochet, but Phillips will keep it in far side the right for West Brom. Cut towards the front post. Oh, header goalwards. Oh, and it's across the face of goal. And again, Darnell Furlong getting himself into those problem areas for the Baggies. And this one not going to form so far. It's West Brom who've started the brighter. Furlong got himself away from Vestergaard. A free header. Couldn't direct it at goal. 16 gone, it's 0-0. 16 minutes gone at the game at Hawthorns. It's West Brom 0, Southampton 0, but it's the Baggies who started the brighter. Free header inside the penalty area for Darnell Furlong. He latched onto the end of Matt Phillips' cross and turned it towards goal, but agonisingly just a foot wide of Fraser Forster's far post. West Brom certainly on top in this one, but goalless so far. 16 and a half gone. And once again on my screen, I'm getting a rerun of the disallowed goal, and we've actually got a fresh angle on it. And I tell you, this looks really harsh from Diagne. I said previously that it was hard to get a clear shot. Well, this time, it certainly does look to be more conclusive. I'm going to cut off though, because coming through the middle of West Bromwich Albion once again, Ainsley Maitland-Niles looking for him by Diagne. Threads him through, and it's cut behind for a corner. And again, West Brom just pulling apart the Southampton defence. Bednarek sucked into the challenge. It was cut through past Bertrand, and it had to be tucked behind by Vestergaard, because Diagne was peeling through on goal. And out it goes for a corner again, far side the right for West Brom. 0-0 after 17 minutes. Off Tube Independent studio commentary. Whipped in towards the back post, heads rise from both sides. Bednarek is there first, and he gets a touch actually off Ainsley Maitland-Niles, and that one will trickle behind for a goal kick, so no harm done as far as Southampton are concerned. They'll think they've perhaps weathered the storm in this opening 17 minutes. Haven't really laid a glove on their hosts. And to go back to what I was saying about the VAR call, well, initially from the first angle that we saw, it was hard to say whether Diagne was offside or not, because he was obscured from view by the figure of Kyle Bartley, who was in an offside position but wasn't active in play. When Diagne turned that ball into the net, I don't think he's beyond the last line defender, which is Yannick Vestergaard. So perhaps West Bromwich Albion feel a little bit hard done to. 18 gone, goalless it is, and another offside. This one I don't think there'll be any complaints about against Callum Robinson. The ball looped over the top, and Derek Eaton on the far side raising his flag, and this time no issues. 18 gone, no score at either end. We await the restart of play from the indirect free kick at the edge of the Southampton penalty area. Near side there, right. Of course, just one other game in the Premier League to take place this Monday night. That's Brighton hosting Everton at 8:15. Back at the Hawthorn, the back underway. Long, deep, searching ball forward from Kyle Walker-Peters. It's hit too hard, and it's straight out of play in the right back position for West Bromwich Albion. Daniel Furlong letting that run. He'll have his throw in level with the edge of his penalty area. Hemmed in by red shirts now though. He surveys his options. 19 gone. West Brom 0, Southampton 0. Plays it short into Phillips and back to Furlong. Tries to get his clearance away from the defensive third, but he scuffs it. West Brom have picked it up in the middle of the park though with Yukushlu to work near side the West Brom left towards Townsend. Cuts it inside, and now a chance for Diagne to move forward. Plays in Robinson 35 yards out from goal and centrally. Sees Phillips arriving over his right shoulder. Phillips whips it into the box, headed clear by Vestergaard for Southampton. Drops in the middle of the park, and Redmond is chasing after it. Redmond takes it down. Suspicion of the arm use, perhaps. Referee was on hand though, says nothing done. Worked out far side the right though for West Brom. We pick it back up in possession 30 yards out from the Saints goal. Looking for Phillips. Phillips trying to get a run far side the right past Vestergaard. Vestergaard coming across with a slide tackle to knock it out for a throw in. So 20 gone. West Brom 0, Southampton 0. And Furlong, the man who will get us back on the way from the throw. Level with the edge at the Southampton penalty area. Plenty of men of size in the box for West Brom. Daniel Furlong again to take, but Kyle Bartley is forward, so is Dara O'Shea. Here comes the delivery from Furlong. It's long towards the front post. Knocked in and a shot at goal, but an easy save for Fraser Forster. Kyle Bartley, the man latching onto it. It was tipped back to him from Matt Phillips, but by the time it reached the middle man, it was a weak and tame effort straight down the middle. And Forster, an easy stop for him. He bowls out, and Southampton now progressing up the pitch, 10 yards inside the West Brom half. James Ward-Prowse now 40 yards out. Invites the challenge from Ainsley Maitland-Niles and tries to work it out far side of Southampton left. He was looking for Nathan Redmond, but it's an errant ball straight out of play. Darnell Furlong goes to retrieve the loose ball. 21 minutes played, no score. The West Brom have had the ball in the net through Diagne, and certainly had the better of the action. We still await Darnell Furlong to get us back in the way from the throw. That's the hold up. Now here it comes, and it goes down the far side West Brom right flank, and they'll cede possession. It's picked up by Theo Walcott inside his own half. Southampton just hit the reset button, go all the way back to Fraser Forster. All in yellow away to the left. It's Southampton kicking left to right, try and force the ball upfield, but it's hit too hard and straight down the throat of centre-back Dara O'Shea. Takes this thing out of that one, rolls it back to Johnston in goal. He clears it towards halfway. Errant ball, though, down the throat of Walker-Peters, near side of Southampton right. Into the feet of Armstrong. Tries to cut his way inside. Pereira follows him. Works it far side of Southampton left towards Vestergaard. Halfway now inside the West Brom half. 0-0 it stands. Saints working forward. Redmond on the edge of the penalty area. He's got Ington support, 20 yards out. He's been ganged upon by 3 blue and white shirts. It's worked near side of Southampton right, and Walker-Peters getting forward into a crossing position, gets the cross in, and it's knocked behind by Kyle Bartley. So a corner to Southampton. Seen little from the Saints so far. 22 gone. West Brom 0, Southampton 0. Kyle Walker-Peters rejects the ball that he's given, goes for a fresh one. And the throw-in, when he regains his original position, will be right up against the corner flag, near side of Southampton right. 22.5 gone. Goalless at the Hawthorns. Off-tube independent studio commentary. Walker-Peters with the ball in hand. Sees Redmond coming short for it. Walker-Peters will have it back. Knocks it further up the line. Still near side the right. Looking for Diallo. Diallo cuts it back towards Vestergaard. 35 yards out. And central. Tries to cut it through the middle. He's seen the run of Bertrand. And so, though, has Darnell Furlong. And Furlong does expertly well there to get body between man and ball and shepherd that one behind for a goal kick. So 23 gone. West Brom 0. Southampton 0. The Saints, well, they find themselves on 36 points currently. 35 was what was needed last season for survival in the Premier League. You think, though, they may have enough, although a win today certainly puts it beyond doubt. You'd imagine they have a free kick 10 yards inside the West Brom half. Theo Walcott working his way past Yakushlu, and the Turk conceding the foul with the push. The Saints will work it forward again. Walker-Peters picking out Diallo. Halfway inside the West Brom half. It's worked out far side the Saints left towards Bertrand. Vestergaard now taking it infield. Rise the challenge well from Diania. Brings it into the feet of Bednarek. On the edge of the centre circle, West Brom half. Vestergaard now for Southampton. Works it far side the Saints left again. Bertrand cuts it through the middle. Finds Redmond on the edge of the attacking third. He works it into the penalty area. Goes down under the challenge. Referee says nothing doing, but Danny Ings has got it. Danny Ings chips it towards goal. Oh, and it's just wide of the post. And by far the best chance of the game for the Saints. Danny Ings picking up on a loose ball inside the penalty area. Off to the left-hand side, flicked it far post. Sam Johnston scrambling to make it just wide of the upright. Nathan Redmond thought he'd been fouled. I think it was more on the edge of the penalty area rather than inside. He was wrestled to the ground. The ball fell to Ings and shimmied a shot goalwards. Doesn't meet the target, but better from Southampton. Best chance of the game for Southampton. It's 0-0 after 24 minutes, but Danny Ings came close to breaking the deadlock. It was well worked into the penalty area by Nathan Redmond. He went down under the challenge of Darnell Furlong on the edge of the box. Before we could wait for a decision from the referee, it was picked up by Ings. He ghosted it onto his right foot and whipped it towards Sam Johnston's far post, agonisingly just a yard wide. 25 gone, West Brom 0, Southampton 0. And you rejoin us with a defensive throw for Southampton in the right back position. Kyle Walker-Peters, as ever, standing over it, works it up the line. Takes a quick 1-2, and he's lost out, though, on the return ball to Callum Robinson. Robinson now near side the West Brom left, dancing away from danger. Knocks it back towards Connor Townsend. He loses out, though. Walcott coming across to double up and win the ball back for Southampton. They'll work it out towards the edge of their defensive third, and that's where the free kick will come. Nathan Redmond bustled into there by Ainsley Maitland-Niles, and the referee Simon Hooper quick on the whistle. So a free kick to reset the tempo. About 25.5 minutes. West Brom 0, Southampton 0. Long ball forward from halfway from Ings. Now he's found Redmond open on the edge of the penalty area. Redmond comes near side the right for Southampton into the channel, cuts it back. Oh, it's a missed kick back towards the back post. Ings is there, scoops it across goal. No one there to turn it home, and West Brom will scramble it away. And West Brom have created themselves problems out of nothing. The cross came in near side the right, a lovely ball over the top from Ings. Found Redmond bearing down on goal, just took it a fraction too far wide. Cut the cross in. It was scooped away by Bartley. Bartley put it right back into the path of Armstrong. Armstrong worked it towards goal. Danny Ings kept it alive on the byline, tried to scoop it back across. He put it too wide in the end and no one was there to convert it. into the back of the net, and it was finally scrambled away by West Brom. But living dangerously. And Southampton, well, it's taken them a quarter of the game to get up to steam, but now they're starting to hit their stride. Well, it's taken Southampton a good 25 minutes to hit their stride, but now they're really feeling a rhythm. Coming forward near side the right once again. They're working their way into the penalty area. It was cut back towards Nathan Redmond, who tried to scoop a shot at goal, decided on the cross. It was misplaced straight down the throat of Kyle Bartley, who then slipped on the ball, gave it straight to Stuart Armstrong 10 yards out. His shot was wide, kept alive on the byline by Danny Ings, cut the ball back across goal. No one there in a red shirt to turn it home. West Brom, who started well, starting now to live dangerously. 0-0 after 27 minutes. So 27 gone, goalless at the Hawthorns. Off-tube independent studio commentary. Forward once again, West Brom will try and come. Nyokaslu works it in towards him by Diania on the edge of the penalty area. Cuts it just wide of Fraser Forster's post. Well, he works himself into a pocket of space in the 18-yard box, wriggled between the defenders and slips it just wide of the upright. West Brom showing their fragility at one end of the pitch and turning it round with a lovely, well-worked effort into the feet of Diania, who just couldn't quite keep it inside the upright. If anything, it was just too close into his feet, couldn't get the give on the ball that he wanted. And remains 0-0, although I'm starting to ask myself exactly how. So 28 gone, West Brom 0, Southampton 0. Forward again, Southampton will come near side the right. Kyle Walker-Peters works it inside. Looks for Diallo. Diallo, 25 yards out, into the feet of Armstrong. Armstrong's going to try a shot, and oh, he forces a good save out of Sam Johnston from 25 yards. Worked it well down the centre. Found himself with a pocket of a shot towards Johnston's goal. It was hit rather well. Not completely in the corner, and Johnston, away to his right, managed a double-handed punch over the bar. Taken out of the air by Furlong, fast to the West Brom right and work forward towards Diania, towards the edge of the penalty area. It's cut across now, working forward into spaces. Diania takes it around Fraser Forster and he's taken down. And a penalty for West Bromwich Albion. 30 minutes gone, and now the best chance surely of the game goes towards the bag. Ainsley Maitland-Niles worked the ball far side the right, cut it in. It was Pereira who got onto the ball on the edge of the penalty area. Worked it in. All he had to do was tap it around the goalkeeper. Fraser Forster was sold the dummy. Wipes out Pereira. And a penalty given. And so on 31 minutes, the biggest chance of the game falls to West Bromwich Albion. Mateus Pereira taken out by Fraser Forster. And now from the spot, the Baggies have the chance to take the lead. What a chance this is for Matheus Pereira. Left-footed it will be, waiting for the all clear from the referee. Hooper sounds his whistle. Left-footed Pereira it will be, puts it down the middle and into the back of the net. West Bromwich Albion 1, Southampton 0, and they may sit 11 points adrift of safety at kick-off, but West Bromwich Albion have thoroughly deserved their lead. West Brom 1, Southampton 0. West Bromwich Albion 1, Southampton 0. A penalty from the boot of Matheus Pereira, and fitting as he was the man brought down by Fraser Forster when he latched onto a lovely bit of play down the West Brom right by Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Cut the ball back across the penalty area. Matheus Pereira, one touch out the boot, stick it around the goalkeeper. He was brought down to ground. The penalty straight down the middle gives West Brom a deserved lead on 32 minutes. Baggies 1, Saints 0. Well, plenty of action in this one. West Brom, who've been by far the better side, you would say, up for a 2-minute spell after 25 or so, when Danny Ings and Nathan Redmond conspired to upset their party. They've been on top so far and they get their just desserts. 32 gone, they lead by 1-0. Now a spot of defending to do. The ball far side, Southampton left with Bertrand from the throw-in, works it forward towards Ings. Ings trying to turn his man on the edge of the box. That man's Dara O'Shea, and O'Shea has won it back. He will clear though out of play, taking no risk there on the edge of his penalty area. So Southampton will get us back underway. Halfway inside the West Brom half, Bertrand with the ball in hand, works it down the line. He's looking for Diallo. It's knocked out off the boot of O'Shea, so a throw in this time just 2 yards short of the corner flag. Southampton trailing by 1-0. 12 minutes to go before half-time. Comes in short from Bertrand. Knocks it into the feet of Diallo. Bertrand will have it again. Tries to get across in, and he tried to be cute there. Knocking off the feet of Darnell Furlong and out for a corner ball. The defender saw it coming though, and it's straight out for a goal kick. So 33.5 minutes played. West Brom 1, Southampton 0. And the penalty, all that separates the two sides. Matheus Pereira, just 2 minutes ago. It all came about from a poor bit of play from Fraser Forster, who cleared his goal kick straight back into Baggy's hands. Cushlew finding Ainsley Maitland-Niles, far side of the West Brom right, cutting into the penalty area. Knocked the ball back for Pereira. Pereira taken out, a clear as day penalty. No need for VAR on that one. Tucked straight down the middle for the 1-0 lead. That's where we are now, 10.5 minutes short of half-time. And as it stands, West Bromwich Albion still 8 points adrift of safety, but here they come forward again, near side of the left, Diania, towards the edge of the penalty area, cuts it back, post, oh, and it's turned into the back of the net! West Brom 2, Southampton 0, and it's a dream first half for the Baggies. Well, they felt the injustice of VAR early on in the game, and now they find themselves opening up that 2-goal cushion, and Southampton really creating a rod for their own back. Matt Phillips makes it 2-0 to the Baggies, turning in the cross from Mbaidianya at the back post. And the second bottom side have their second of the game. 10 minutes to go before half-time, and it's West Brom 2, Southampton 0. Well-worked ball near side of the left from Mbaidianya, cuts it towards the back post, and Matt Phillips is arriving from an improbable angle, managed to scoop it into the roof of the net to give the Baggies the 2-goal cushion, and I have to say, thoroughly deserved. 35 gone, West Brom 2, Southampton 0. You join us again after the goal update. So West Bromwich Albion 2, Southampton 0. You're listening to Off-Tube Independent Studio Commentary. And if you're just joining us, well, it's been a wonderful spectacle so far. We've had chances aplenty at either end. And it's the Baggies who are on top in this first half, of which there are 9 minutes left to play. Well, West Brom, who had a goal controversially ruled out from Baidiania after 3 minutes, have worked their way back on top, and from the penalty spot with Mateus Pereira, and then just a moment ago from the boot of Matt Phillips, they find themselves opening up an advantage and are in possession again 20 yards inside their own half. Near side the left with Pereira. Pereira is knocked off the ball. Free kick given against James Ward-Prowse, and now we're going to see the first flash of Simon Hooper's yellow card. So Ward-Prowse into the book. The free kick will be to West Bromwich Albion. 10 yards inside the Southampton half. James Ward-Prowse there, the Saints skipper, just knew he'd been got the better of. And Pereira, scorer of West Brom's first of 2, hauled down to ground, wins aside the free kick. The 5th booking of the season for Southampton's Ward-Prowse. So the free kick, 20 yards inside Southampton territory. It's worked forward, not used well. It's straight back into the hands of Vestergaard. Worked forward towards Ward-Prowse. He's dispossessed though. Coming forward now, Pereira. Near side the left finds Townsend for West Brom. Works it towards the corner flag. Still on that West Brom left flank, and gets the cross and hits Bednarek and goes behind for a corner. So West Brom lead by 2-0. Now from the corner flag they restart as they look for that third. And well, a penny for Ralph Hasenhüttl's thoughts. He looks on a dejected figure from the Southampton technical area. They've been way off the pace so far, his Saints side. Now they have a corner to defend. Near side the left. Worked in towards the back post and rising. Men of both sides. First to it is James Ward-Prowse. Knocks out towards the edge of the penalty area. It's kept alive by Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Gets across in towards the back post. Headed clear by Bednarek, and not clear enough though. Right onto the edge of the penalty area. Men scrapping from both sides, and it's cleared away just in the nick of time by Diallo. Unconventional method though. Out away towards his corner flag. And Fraser Forster came out to scoop it and got the all clear from the referee to pick the ball up. It wasn't judged to be an intentional play back to him. So he walks out towards the edge of his penalty area, rolls it short towards Bednarek. Forward over halfway. Redmond works it further up that Southampton left flank towards Walcott. Level with the edge of the West Brom penalty area, and he's overstepped the mark because the referee looks across to his assistant near side the right. Harry Leonard with the flag up. Southampton stopped in their tracks. They trail by 2-0. And West Brom firmly in the ascendancy. Still 8 points from safety as it stands. Of course, awaiting Brighton's hosting of Everton in the 8:15 kickoff. That one's still to come. It's Brighton and Newcastle that lie just beyond the relegation zone, and that's where West Brom have to set their sights. They come forward near side the left once again with Mbadiania. Knocks it out for a throw-in off Kyle Walker-Peters. So the ball in hand, just 10 yards from the corner flag. West Brom lead by 2-0. 5.5 to go before half-time. And Townsend dries the ball in his blue and white jersey. Looks for a man in the centre. Men of both sides getting forward. Still waiting for him to be happy with the dryness of the ball. Worked in forward towards Bartley. Back towards the taker, and Cushley will have a go from the edge of the penalty area, but that's way too high, and you could tell from the moment it left the Turk's boot, he got underneath it. So straight out over the bar for a Southampton goal kick, and we wait for Fraser Forster to get control of the ball once again. 5 to go before half-time. Off-Tube Independent studio commentary. And West Bromwich Albion 2, Southampton 0. The goals from the penalty spot first off from Mateus Pereira, and then Matt Phillips converting from Mbadiania's cross. West Bromwich Albion, well, weren't fancied coming into these last 2 games, and their 5-2 thumping of Chelsea set them up nicely for tonight, and they certainly look in control here. In possession 10 yards inside the Saints half with Cushley. And Cushley are looking for the ball in the run of Ainsley Maitland-Niles. He could only find Theo Walcott, who tries and chips a speculative ball over the top, looking for Danny Ings halfway inside the West Brom half. He's only managed to find Connor Townsend though. He'll shepherd that one back towards Sam Johnston. Just all in a mint green goalkeeper's strip. Takes the ball in hand and bounces it on the edge of his penalty area. Gets the hurry up signal from Simon Hooper. Now with a punt kick up towards halfway. It drops 20 yards inside the Southampton's half. Headed clear by Vestergaard up towards halfway. And the battle on between Furlong and Redmond to win the ball back. And Furlong comes away with it, knocks it into Southampton territory though. It's cleared by Diallo up towards Bertrand. 20 yards inside West Brom territory. Vestergaard more central. And near side the right for Southampton now is Armstrong. Work forward towards Peters. Peters inside toward Ings. 30 yards out with his back to goal. Goes back to James Ward-Prowse. Far side the Saints right with Bertrand. Southampton building nicely. They trail by 2-0. Vestergaard on the edge of the centre circle. Still in the West Brom half. Far side the Saints left once again is Bertrand. Down the line looking for Walcott. Walcott trying to cross it in. He could see Danny Ings there, but his cross was far too close to Sam Johnston. He'll pick those up all day long. 3 minutes to go before the break. West Bromwich Albion 2, Southampton 0 is where we stand. Sam Johnston once again taking plenty of time on the ball in hand. Bounces the ball on the edge of his penalty area and goes long with the punt kick. This one perfectly placed right into the boot of Mbaidiani. A quick 1-2 between him and Robinson. Near side the West Brom left, 20 yards from the byline. It's cut towards the edge of the penalty area. Maitland-Niles brought down under the challenge of Ward-Prowse, and that's enough to win the ball back for the Saints. Legally too, says the referee, so it's cleared by Walker-Peters up towards halfway. West Brom will knock it straight back at them with Barkley. Townsend coming forward near side the Baggies left. 30 yards from the byline, finds himself stopped there by Walker-Peters. Southampton will ferry it clear up towards Ward-Prowse on halfway. Knocked back in towards Diallo. Diallo loses out though in the challenge right on the half towards Robinson. Robinson knocks it back towards Maitland-Niles. He's tripped. Referee waves play on with the advantage and he sees none forthcoming. So a free kick to West Brom. 15 yards inside the Southampton half. Baggies lead by 2-0. And now with 90 seconds left of the first period, they have a chance to get within range for a third. Mateus Pereira, the man to stand over it. Nathan Redmond doing his best there just to block off any chance of a quick free kick. He's moved back the correct distance by referee Simon Hooper. A high line played by Southampton, but it's immaterial because it's played short from the throw. It's 45 yards out, and from the free kick, should I say, Connor Townsend takes it inside. Townsend works onto his right, looks for the cross, and it's massively overhit. You can see there Mbaidiani in range. Too much air on that, and straight behind for a goal kick. 44 minutes gone. West Bromwich Albion 2, Southampton 0. Ralph Hasenhüttl, an animated figure now in his technical area. You see his side well off the pace. Out from the goal kick, it comes from Forster. Drops 10 yards inside the West Brom half. Phillips, the first man to it, works it forward over halfway. Finds Robinson looking for Diania. And now West Brom surging forward towards the edge of the penalty area. The long ball coming over the top looking for Robinson. Walker-Peters has got there first and clears it out for a throw-in. 30 seconds left of normal time in this first period. West Brom going in search of a third without reply. Kushlu 35 yards out in central. Spreads play looking for O'Shea. Far side the West Brom right. Furlong now. Level with the edge of the penalty area. Cuts it inside. West Brom building nicely. Southampton plenty of red shirts back, but it slipped down the line looking for Furlong. Furlong with the cross in. It hit Vestergaard, and Vestergaard just manages to get a touch on it and clear it away up towards the edge of the penalty area. Ings gets his body across the ball. He's knocked into the back of though by Kushlu, so a free kick for Southampton to bring up 2 minutes of added time. And West Brom there just building ever so nicely, but the final ball was lacking from Furlong. It was so tame that Vestergaard was able to get a touch on it first and then clear it away. Now Ings winning the free kick halfway inside Saints territory. Sets about finding Diallo short. Near side the right it comes, 10 yards inside the West Brom half with Saints. For Walker-Peters, tries to slide the ball into Diallo on the edge of the penalty area. It's cleared away by Dara O'Shea, so a throw in near side the Saints right. Kyle Walker-Peters tries to work it up the line looking for Armstrong. Armstrong finds himself shut off by Connor Townsend. Out for a corner it goes. 2 minutes of added time, remember, we've had one of them. So now the Saints find themselves 2 goals behind. 60 seconds left of the half, and they can do something about that perhaps from the corner. Near side their right. Vestergaard, Bednarek, all up for this one. Ward-Prowse on the delivery. Outswinger it will be, right-footed. Here he comes, near side of Southampton right, whips in towards the penalty spot, headed clear by O'Shea, drops in the edge of the box toward Prowse, almost for the header back in as the Southampton man down in the goal mouth. Both sides playing on regardless, though West Brom win it back on the edge of their own penalty area. Knocking into a battle with Matt Phillips is Kyle Bertrand, and Bertrand will win it back, plays it in Redmond, far side of left. Trying to get himself into a crossing position, tries to cut inside, past Dara O'Shea. O'Shea wins it back, and now play is stopped because Danny Ings still down in the West Brom goal mouth. Simon Hooper tried to let play develop as much as he could there. Danny Ings down, holding his left ankle. And the Southampton medical staff ushered on now. He seems to have got the knock as he tries to rise for the ball from the corner. And it's him and Yokashlu who come together. And it certainly doesn't look at first glance to be anything intentional, but perhaps a trod on the foot. And it's the ankle region that seems to be the problem for Ings. He's getting medical attention now. So we've had the 47 minutes of the first half, the 2 of course added. And we have to play a little extension on the end of those, or I wonder if the referee Simon Hooper might just call it a day now at the end of the first half. Ings has been pulled to his feet. He'll have to go off to the side of the field. We'll wait to see whether he'll return if we do get back underway in this first period. West Brom lead by 2-0. And penalty for Mateus Pereira, and Matt Phillips converting just after the half-hour mark to give the Baggies a 2-goal lead. Ings is off at the side of the pitch now. He'll walk back towards the corner flag. A drop ball gets us back underway. Darnell Furlong will go back towards his own goalkeeper, Sam Johnston. Johnson punts long over halfway. The referee will play on just to allow for the extra stoppage. Up towards halfway it goes. Diallo chests it down. Now we'll see the half-time whistle. So West Brom can be very happy with their first half performance. They lead by 2-0. Southampton yet to get up to the pace of the game. Join me again in 15 minutes. Half-time in the game at the Hawthorns. It's West Brom 2, Southampton 0. Mateus Pereira from the penalty after being brought down by Fraser Forster gave them the lead after 32 minutes, and then 3 minutes later it was 2. Matt Phillips converting from him by Diania Cross. Half-time, West Brom 2, Southampton 0. Half-time in the game at the Hawthorns. It's West Brom 2, Southampton 0. Mateus Pereira from the penalty after being brought down by Fraser Forster gave them the lead after 32 minutes, and then 3 minutes later it was 2. Matt Phillips converting from him by Diania Cross. Half-time, West Brom 2, Southampton 0. Half-time in the game at the Hawthorns. It's West Brom 2, Southampton 0. Mateus Pereira from the penalty after being brought down by Fraser Forster gave them the lead after 32 Diania cross. Half-time, West Brom 2, Southampton 0. Half-time in the game at the Hawthorns. It's West Brom 2, Southampton 0. Mateus Pereira from the penalty after being brought down by Fraser Forster gave them the lead after 32 minutes, and then 3 minutes later it was 2. Matt Phillips converting from him by Diania cross. Half-time, West Brom 2, Southampton 0. Half-time in the game at the Hawthorns. It's West Brom 2, Southampton 0. Mateus Pereira from the penalty. Hawthorns, it's West Brom 2, Southampton 0. Mateus Pereira from the penalty after being brought down by Fraser Forster gave them the lead after 32 minutes, and then 3 minutes later it was 2. Matt Phillips converting from him by Diania cross. Half-time, West Brom 2, Southampton 0. Half-time in the game at the Hawthorns. It's West Brom 2, Southampton 0. Mateus Pereira from the penalty after being brought down by Fraser Forster gave them the lead after 32 minutes, and then 3 minutes later it was 2. Matt Phillips converting from him by Diania cross. Half-time.
Between for two of looking at Greta, whose life was completely transformed after she started protesting and trying to raise awareness about the environment. And of course, that catalyst was a huge sort of force.
I feel silly, but I do want nationwide 5G.
I want nationwide 5G.
Are we actually doing this again?
It's not complicated. Only AT&T gives new and existing customers the same great deals, like the Samsung Galaxy S21 5G for free when you trade in.
At Panera, we take care of dinner time. We use fresh, clean ingredients to make mouth-watering masterpieces. Order our new flatbread pizzas for dinner tonight with delivery or pickup. Only at Panera.
Hey, it's me, your dry skin. I'm craving something we're missing. The ceramides in CeraVe. They help restore my natural barrier so I can lock in moisture. We've got to have each other's backs.
CeraVe, now the #1 dermatologist-recommended skincare brand.
At Amica, we believe in life's extraordinary experiences. We are an insurance company that delivers an experience that meets the only standards higher than ours, yours. Experience Amica. Auto, home, and life insurance.
5-Hour Energy helps you get stuff done. And now, when you purchase 5-Hour Energy, you can instantly win cash prizes. For complete rules and how to enter, visit 5hewin.com. 5-Hour Energy, the official sponsor of getting stuff done.
I watch the Premier League because the Arsenal Gunners are the best team on the planet, and the Premier League is the most consistent league in the world.
Yeah, you can see more of Dallas Mavericks guard Josh Richardson, clearly a huge Arsenal supporter, on a new episode of the Men in Blazers show, 5:30, right here on NBCSN. That's after our second match, Brighton-Everton, as well as a short goal zone wrapping up the day as well.
The Premier League on NBCSN is brought to you by US Bank. We'll get there together. And by the all-new, all-electric Volkswagen ID4.
Before, you got started with a key, then a button. Now, see? It's on.
Before, the rain would bring me down. How you like me now, Rain?
Before, you had to be awake to make a difference.
Before it can change the world, it has to change yours. The all-new, all-electric Volkswagen ID4.
The bowls are back. Applebee's Irresistibles, all just $8.99.
If you printed out directions to get here today, you're in the right place.
My seminars are a great tool to help young homeowners who are turning into their parents.
Now remember, they're not programs, they're TV shows. You woke up early. No one cares. Yes?
So I was using something called Home Quote Explorer from Progressive to easily compare home insurance rates. Was I hashtagging?
Progressive can't help you from becoming your parents, but we can help you compare rates on home insurance with Home Quote Explorer.
Guess what? The waiter doesn't need to know your name.
Your first thoughts about the game? Well, we subbed in the captain at the right moment. Changed the formation to a line of 3. Captain, Ginger, line. Feels like this living room just witnessed history. You want to step up your game? Sub in the captain.
Christopher Maloney is back in TV's new hit, Law & Order Organized Crime. You can catch that Thursday after SVU, only on NBC. Goals coming easy for West Brom here lately. 5 against Chelsea last week. They now have 7 in their last game and a half in the Premier League. That is more than they had scored in their previous 11 games combined. Looked like they could add a few more in the second half, too. 2-0, second half coming up.
Walter, did you know Geico could save you hundreds on car insurance and a whole lot more? So what are you waiting for? World's strongest man, Martins Litzis, to help you break down boxes?
What am I gonna do to you, Box? Let me break it down for you. Oh! You're going down! Down to the recycling center!
Hey, thanks, Martins.
Hey, you're welcome.
Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save.
And there you have it. McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich. From the makers of the world's most stolen fries. The juicy chicken sandwich from the place that offers extra napkins for a reason. The tender chicken sandwich from the creators of a sandwich phenomenon. So you won't just be biting into a chicken sandwich. You'll be biting into McDonald's new crispy, juicy, tender chicken sandwich.
Woke up, the sun is out. Feeling like this day gon' be mine. Trap music playing loud. I'm good to go.
youth classic. Drop into the goal. He scores!
Why do nearly 1 million businesses choose Stamps.com to mail and ship? No more trips to the post office. No more paying full price for postage. And great rates from USPS and UPS. Mail letters. Ship packages. Anytime, anywhere. For less. A lot less. Get our special TV offer. A 4-week trial plus postage and a digital scale. Go to Stamps.com/save and never go to the post office again.
Spring is a wonderful time to order delicious snacks from Nuts.com because the freshness is truly magical. Fresh nuts, dried fruits, sweets and treats are hand-selected from our kitchen. Freshly roasted to perfection, or freshly baked, freshly dipped, freshly seasoned, or freshly popped. Packaged fresh, and Nuts.com delivers this yumminess super fast with free shipping. Nuts.com, fresh spring snacks from our kitchen to yours.
The second half from the Hawthorns, Connor McNamara and Efenakoku. We'll see you back here after the game.
Well, when West Brom went to goal down at Chelsea last weekend, it looked like they were certainties for relegation. Since then, 90 minutes of football, 7 goals have been scored. And West Bromwich Albion look good here to collect 6 points from that position of being a goal down just over a week ago. There is still so much work to do. There are still no guarantees. But West Bromwich Albion are giving themselves a chance. Now, can they professionally see out this game and maybe even build on their 2-goal advantage? Here is Yokushlu. And that's going to be a free kick to Southampton. Efenakoku.
Well, the positive things for West Ham, if they need anything more tonight for the fans watching at home, is that when Southampton play badly and things go right defensively, they generally get hammered. You need to maintain that intensity, of course. They won't give it to you, but be surprised sometimes how they've collapsed. Won't mention any score lines because Saints fans don't like me saying it.
So, Ralph Hasenhüttl, the only manager in Premier League history whose teams have conceded 9 goals in a game more than once. Surely not again. Surely not here of all places. Diagne has been a very good recruit for West Brom. Now, here's Ryan Bertrand.
On the plus side, after having some heavy defeats over the last couple of seasons, Southampton, they've shown their mettle and belief in themselves and trust in the coaching staff as well from the hierarchy to say, well, you know, we believe we're on the right track. There's a couple of matches we'd call an aberration. Been rewarded with some very good football. Certainly a fan of their work and quite a lot of their players throughout this campaign. Vestergaard in particular in the early season before he got injured, I thought was the best centre-half in the country.
Hard to believe now, but Southampton were top of the table at one stage in November. Here's Redmond. More Prowse to Diallo. Here is the aforementioned Vestergaard. Southampton looking to stamp a bit of authority in proceedings here.
Well, we're bound to get in the second half, Connor, especially in the opening 15 or so minutes. Is a West Ham side who will be, West Brom side who are partly sated, who will be happy to sit back and contain, which is always a dangerous thing. So allowing Southampton a lot more possession outside their penalty area. Very good at their link-up play. When they get their mojo back and they zip the ball about with more pace, there's a chance they can create some chances.
Ward-Prowse onto Walker-Peters. Always energetic, the former Tottenham man. Bertrand trying to find a good run made by Armstrong, but it was good tracking back to Ainsley Maitland-Niles, who never shirks from defensive responsibilities. One of the reasons Sam Allardyce would have wanted to bring him in.
Yeah, good all-round player. He's burst through to help set up the opening goal, the penalty. No reason why he can't be all over the field. I mean, lots of good attacking and defensive work.
Ward-Prowse. Again, good jump by Kyle Bartley.
Had to be.
Felt he was being fouled, and he's continuing the protest to referee Simon Hooper. This is Phillips. Kushlu, won back by Diallo for Southampton. Vestergaard.
He's not one of those centre-backs who comes forward just hoping to get on the end of something in the box. He expects to score a few goals a season.
Ward-Prowse. Armstrong. Defender is Furlong. Timed that tackle perfectly.
That's where Southampton are good. When they got possession like that and the team sit back, they're just happy to keep on passing it around. They don't just swing it into the box, the ball aimlessly.
Vestergaard looking for another of these quarterback passes, unable to pick out the wide receiver Theo Walcott. Walcott operating on the right wing in the second half. He'd been predominantly on the left-hand side in the first period. Here he comes again. Walker-Peters outside him. This is towards Danny Ings. Bertrand appeared to be fouled by Pereira. Referee says play on. Ward-Prowse. Good ball to Walker-Peters. Give and go with Walcott. And still Walker-Peters rode that first challenge well. That's unlucky. Danny Ings had made the dart along the edge of the 6-yard box. Kyle Walker-Peters summing up what has been a much improved Southampton performance in the 5 minutes since half-time.
Well, that look from Danny Ings says he's expecting a better cross, and I've got to say, Connor,
himself around Furlong, gets a lucky touch and manages to keep hold of the ball, plays it back to Ward-Prowse on the edge of the penalty area. Ward-Prowse into Armstrong. Armstrong thinks about the shot, turns his way inside your Kushlu, still 20 yards out, back to goal though. He's got support if he wants to use it with Ward-Prowse, goes near side the left though, crossing from Bertrand, cleared away, and out for a throw in. Kyle Bartley the man to get across and shimmy that out for a throw. The Saints starting to show their worth now in the second period. 80% of the possession they've had in this second half, or the 7.5 minutes we've had of it. They still trail by 2-0, however. So throw in near side the left, 10 yards short of the West Brom corner flag. The Saints trying to work their way into a crossing position with Redmond. Redmond knocks it off the feet of Pereira. Out for a throw into Southampton. Taken quickly by Bertrand. Bertrand looking for Stuart Armstrong perhaps too quickly.